The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
All right, everybody, please say good morning and welcome to 710 KNUS. What I always call these people, a man after my own heart. This is Sean Brown. Hey, Sean, good morning. Welcome to Denver, Colorado, 710 KNUS, and thanks for being here with us. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning to you, too.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's more than my pleasure. You know, there seems to be, and by the way, because we just passed 6 o'clock, this is 710 KNUS, and it's Monday morning, and 710 KNUS Weather Center weather, 62 the high today, 32 tonight, 60 Tuesday, 55 Wednesday, and 50 on Thursday. This is about Barack Obama's life story. Now, I came across, as we always do, an ever-growing number of people who have joined in the cause to discover just exactly who is Barack Obama and what is his true life story. So what I should have done, Sean, so I apologize, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you've come to this conclusion or why you've joined the fight. Maybe that's a better way to do it.
Well, I'm a journalist for the website Mr. Conservative, and I've been researching a lot to do with his Social Security number and his birth certificate. And, I mean, really, the recent revelations from it have been pretty major, like other people who have come forward with it and everything. So I've written quite a few articles about it and found quite some really interesting things.
Let me, if I may, because we're just getting to know you. Number one, where are we speaking to you from?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
May I ask educational background, your age, and what was the moment for you when you decided that Barack Obama's life story was a con job?
Well, I'm 32. I really don't have any, formal schooling. I've been to school, but I just haven't gotten any degrees. But it was probably back in 2008, 2009, right after he got elected, and I had read a story from Breitbart about his publicist changing his birth location on their website.
That's true.
It was for 16 years. It said that he was born in Kenya and raised in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
And then they changed it, and the head of the company said that it was a research error.
And that isn't true,
so
is it?
No, it's not true at all. I mean, nobody knows where this guy came from, and he's spent, tons of money covering it up. And most recently with his birth certificate, even the cold case posse from
Joe Arpaio.
Joe Arpaio. I apologize.
It's all right.
They came up with they had two document examiners, and a third guy verify it. The third guy, Reed Hayes, he's a professional document examiner and a Democrat out of Hawaii.
Now, we know him.
He's been employed by Perkins Coie, the same firm that's defending Obama's eligibility.
Well, they're the ones, the Perkins Coie firm, that woman flew the birth certificate PDF file, allegedly flew. I don't think she took a PDF from Hawaii, but she's the woman, the lawyer, Judith Corley, I think is her name, and she's from Perkins Coie, and she's the private sector attorney that allegedly delivered the PDF. So, I mean, yeah. So, what was your moment? I mean, when I talk to people like yourself, and we know housewives, we know private eyes, we know attorneys, we know media investigators, we know investigative reporters, in this ever-growing number of people that simply do not believe the life story. I'm pursuing this, Sean, by the way. I would like to have, and Denver might be the ideal place, to everybody get as many people as we can together, like a symposium, and everybody bring their evidence or their questions, and all of us sit down, hundreds of us, and say, who the hell is this guy? So if I were to ask you this question primarily first, and I apologize, I should have asked this as well first, because every reputable person I speak to, when I say, who is Barack Obama, they say, I don't know. So I'll give you that lead question. Sean, who is Barack Obama?
To be honest with you, I really don't know.
Neither do I.
And it's impossible to find out.
It seems
to be impossible.
I've spent 10 years of my life, not full-time, but 10 years of my life, and being called a racist and a bigot and a Klansman and a homophobe and a neo-Nazi and a black helicopters and tinfoil hat guy and all those people who called us those names now won't even return phone calls to talk about this. So here we go again. Sean, who is Barack Obama?
I couldn't tell you, man. I really couldn't.
You're on the money. So these new allegations stemming from the birth certificate and also the SSN, the Social Security number, what would you like to add to the mystery?
Well, what I found, what I was saying before, is that Reed Hayes, the document that they uploaded, the PDF document that was supposedly his long-form birth certificate, that was examined by Reed Hayes, and they said it was a 9-layer PDF, not authentic in the least.
That's right.
He said there's no way possible that that's an original. I forgot what I was going to say. I apologize.
But Hayes' report's 30 pages long.
Yeah.
And it's based on, and he says, look, that so-called certificate of live birth is not a scan of an original paper birth certificate. Now, when that first dropped, we had all of these computer guys come in, and they started taking it apart. And it's 30 layers. It's how many layers do you think it is? I forget what he said.
It's 9 layers. They did a 1,200-point inspection on it.
Yeah, 9 layers.
Yeah, and they found 20 documentable inconsistencies that make it not like original.
It's manufactured digitally. My English is always bad, but it's a digital manufacture, is it not?
Yes, it's compiled. They said it's compiled of bits and pieces of other documents that are put together.
Yeah. I believe he said, and others have said, it's a 100% forgery.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
without question. And he's got a signed affidavit to that, too.
Sean, here's what I believe. I believe that the pressure was so intense on Barack Obama when guys like Donald Trump and other people were jumping into the fray. And there was a book coming, and a lot of things were happening. And so they used his private law firm, and they sent this woman to Hawaii. But in the meantime, this is my personal belief, that Barack Obama or someone inside the organization, and I call this guy Jimmy Down the Hall, and Jimmy Down the Hall made this birth certificate that Judith Corley allegedly brings to Hawaii. Now, for me, the MacGuffin in the birth certificate is when it says father's race, and it says African.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is no time, no place, nowhere, any other birth certificate in Hawaii as a black kid with a race African. It would have said Negro, it would have said colored, but Jimmy is politically correct. Jimmy can't say those words. So Jimmy drums up a term African because no one talked about African Americans. That was not a term that was used in that time frame. Jimmy Down the Hall invents African as he layers this together. I don't think Judith Corley brought anything but her purse from wherever she left, from Washington, D.C. to Hawaii and back again, flying commercially. Now, remember one thing. All they would have had to have done was email it to the White House. Why would Corley have to fly all the way to Hawaii to pick up a forged PDF?
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.